Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Almost.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Drishti, almost we could not hear you today at all. I don't know, there was some problem with the some networking or anything. Nothing. There was no sound.
Yeah, basically no sound.
Okay, Mataji.
There was no sound.
I don't
No,
know.
it may not be network problem. It is maybe the way in which they have kept with the
No,
laptop.
every day they keep on the same place. Every day they keep on the same place. They are very perfect in keeping the mic. I don't know, there was some issue. I don't know what. It was breaking
Mataji,
and almost there was no voice.
today, no? Today you are telling?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, just now, afternoon they changed something, net problem, maybe some adjustment is not there properly.
Maybe because this is the first time it has happened. Every
Okay,
time else it was always perfect.
No, Mataji, last week also we had the same problem when they sang.
Yeah, yes. Last week also, it was like it was not audible. Both the Friday and Saturday both. No,
Oh,
I feel now when they are speaking, it is very clear.
When they're
So
talking, it is clear.
No, that's what maybe then it is just with the audio setting only, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay,
Next time,
Last week also.
Yes, Mataji will check.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you. Where is our dancer today?
Playing, Mataji, she's.
Smriti is playing?
Yeah, outside she's playing.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let us begin our class. Thank you again, Srishti and Nivedita, for doing Kirtan. Of course, we could not hear, but it's fine. At least Jagannath was hearing nicely. So we welcome you all.
Mataji, make me co-host, no?
So we welcome you all for the session of Bhagavad Gita. We are doing chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, and as we discussed again, chapter 2 is almost the summary of Bhagavad Gita has been given in the chapter 2. It is very, very important chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. Everything, every shloka, everything is very important in Bhagavad Gita, actually. Bhagavad Gita is, we can read two ways. Systematically, when you are reading, then when we are reading shloka by shloka, you might see that there is a continuation. Question, then answer, then question, then answer, then question, then answer. So there is a sequence. So when we read sequentially, we find that there is a sequence. But also, if you open a Bhagavad Gita page, anytime you open anywhere, also you will feel it very relevant to you. It is not that, oh, I just opened a middle page, so it was very irrelevant for me. I could not understand anything. So this is the very, very speciality of Bhagavad Gita. Even if you read in sequence or you read in isolation, one shloka, sometime I was very disturbed and I opened the book and I tried to read one shloka of Bhagavad Gita, and it gave us console. So anything you all remember from the last class? What we did? How did we begin the chapter?
We should rise above the Vedic Karma Kanda.
Yes, very good. That's a very important lesson. How did you understand that? This is a very, very deep subject matter, actually. So we will have some more discussion on this today. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Iti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nidaya Kripa Pradayane Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagar Gram Tarine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yat kripataham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Parvananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So, yesterday we did this shloka. Krishna told Arjuna that you rise above the three modes of material nature. So what is the three modes of material nature? Actually, we will hear more about the three modes of material nature in the later chapter, in chapter 16, 17, how the modes of nature are divided and which is there in what mode. But I'll just give the glimpse. There are three modes of material nature: Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. We would have heard about it. So there are Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So everything in the material world happens in these three guna. Whether you talk about the food, whether you talk about the places, whether you talk about the behavior, whether we talk about the colors, whether we talk about interest. Satoguni people have one kind of interest. Rajoguni people have one kind of interest. Tamoguni people have one kind of interest. So this is very detailed, is been given in the further chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But everything in the material world comes under the three guna. What happens in the three guna? Three guna mein, when we perform any action, there is a reaction of that. So I may be doing some action in Satoguna, so I get the reaction of Satoguna. I may be getting some action, I may be doing some action in Rajoguna, so my reaction is going to be in Rajoguna. And I may be doing some action in Tamoguna, so my reaction is going to be in Tamoguna. And every time I'm getting some reaction, even the Satoguna, there is a reaction. Sometimes people think that I should be very charitable and I should be doing a lot of social work and I should be doing, like people are Satoguni. Like they don't have much expectation from people, and they are by nature, they are very good, honest, they are very contented. But then Satoguna also, there is some reaction. So when we talk about the transmigration of the soul, it is said Urdhva Gachanti Sattva. Those who are Satoguni, they go to the higher planets. After when they leave this planet, they go to the higher. Madhya, those who are in the middle, they stay in this material world like earthly planet. And those who are Tamoguni, they go to the degraded and they go to the lower planetary system. So action and reaction is there in the whole 14 planetary system. There is an action, there is a reaction. So what Arjuna is stated, what Krishna and Veda teaches us this only. The larger part of the Veda teaches us that how to be very comfortable in this material world. It teaches us how to make the things comfortable according to the Vedic scripture. There are two kinds of people. One, people are sinful. They want to enjoy not following anything. Or they think whatever I am doing is right, even though if it is against the scripture. So, but since they try to enjoy, they think it is right. But there are some people, those who follow the Vedic scripture and try to do try to enjoy the in material world, following the scriptures. So how I explain in a much easier manner is that when I'm living in a city, so I may be a good citizen, and so I follow the laws of the city. I follow everything, and so I have been given a nice community to live. Nobody comes and harasses me unnecessarily. And I have a playground, I have a park, I have a hospital, I have access to go everywhere because I am a good citizen. But there are some bad citizens. Bad citizens, they do not have access of any of these places. They are put in the jail. Why? Because they overruled. They have done something which broke the law. They may be having hundreds of justification. Those who steals also have a justification. Those who rape to the people also have the justification. Why did they do? And they don't find it wrong, probably. That is why they are doing it. But as a rule of the country, as a rule of the nation, these things are wrong. So for doing wrong, they have been punished. And because they are punished, they don't have access. They have a very limited access in a limited places. They cannot go everywhere. They have a very limited kind of food. In my house, whatever I wish, I can make and eat, offer to Krishna. But if I'm in jail, I can earn only what has been given to me. Right? So right and wrong, I don't decide. Who decides in the city right and wrong? There is a law of the city. Every country has a law. Every place there is a law. You have to follow these things. So I cannot be ignorant in not following the law. I cannot say, oh, I don't know about it. So that's the reason I missed it. Like in Dubai, we have metros. In India also there is metro. So metro may a lot of new people come. So generally people buy the ticket, but they do not know that here in the metro there is a I don't think it is in India. Here there's a first class in metros also, like that is called gold class. So the gold class is a more comfortable chair, less people travel because the price of the general and the gold class is double. But the people, those who come as a tourist, they do not know, they feel that, oh, there is a less rush and I have a ticket, let me go and sit there. So there is always some securities there. They know that people do this mistake. Unknowingly they do. They do not know the difference. So what card you have? Show us. If you have a silver card, go to the places where you can sit. Don't come here. If you have gold class only, you come here. So afterward, people know that, okay, this is how a gold card is there. So I have to go in that. So we need to know. So first time you will be told. Second time, if you are not following the same thing, then you will be punished also. There will be penalty for it. So it is my duty to know. So when we are in the material world, it is our duty to know the laws here. Manu Samhita is there, the laws is there, and we should know what is the law. So if anything we do against the law is called sinful. And there is a more severe reaction of those things. So there are one kind of people, those who try to just enjoy. They do not follow anything. Achha, whatever comes, I will see later. But there are some sincere people, they think, no, I have to be careful. I should know what is there. They're more dignitaries, like they are more called Sabhya people, that they will try to understand how to live, how to go, how to do, what I can do in this city, what I cannot do in this city, and then I live. So we have been given some kind of enjoyment we can enjoy, but it should be in the law of nature. The Vedic principle, though, that is what Veda teaches, how within the frame of Vedas, within the frame of rules, how you can enjoy also. So most of the Vedas they talk about this. Vedas also talk about, as I told yesterday, talks about liberation also. So by doing this slowly, you understand, become more serious, and then you understand there is a liberation. But the liberation part is hidden. So people are more focused in the rituals. We are all very focused in rituals. This is my family ritual. This is my family ritual. You can see that there are so many different type of ritual in different area. South mein one ritual, north mein one ritual, east mein one ritual, west mein one ritual. Within the family also, you are Kshatriyas, there is some other ritual. You are some other Brahmana, there is some other ritual. Caste wise also there is some other ritual. So many rituals. So these are called Gramya Dharma. Gramya Dharma. Locally, what is this? But the higher principle is what? Everybody has taken birth and everybody has to die. This is above all the rituals, above all the dharma. We all have come into this being and we are not permanent here. All of us know, everybody knows this. I have come here and my life is limited here. And after that, I have to leave this body and go. That is permanent. That is the absolute truth. That is the only truth. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us how you make your next journey very comfortable. How you can stop this cycle. This is what Bhagavad Gita teaches basically. And also simultaneously those principles, when we practice, like yesterday we were discussing, it helps us our day-to-day improvement also. So the more we will talk about further, third, fourth chapter will come more about all these things. So so that is what it said. They said that there is nothing more than this. People are so much desirous of the sense gratification and the opulent life. They think that this is giving me satisfaction and that is it. I don't want more than that. This life is the only life and let me enjoy as much as I can. This is the modern principle. This is the only life. I have not seen whether I'm going to be born again or not. I don't know what I had in my previous life. I only know this life. Let me enjoy this life. But the problem is that the way we try to enjoy, we are not enjoying also. That is where the problem arises. If we are really enjoying, if we are really happy, then also it is okay. The problem is in the name of enjoyment, we are more suffering than enjoyment. So Vedic performs to the heavenly planet. So those who are fools attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the result of such attraction. Unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. This is what we did. So Krishna encourages Arjuna to give up this karma kanda mentality. And he says, rise above the three modes. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, you go beyond this. Be free from all this duality. And that is how be established in yourself. So this is what we did. Now we will do this today from text 46. It is very, very nice. I try to repeat. Is it boring? You will say that yesterday also we heard the same thing and today also. I just want to repeat a little bit something because I know that repetition is the best way to memorize something. So
Go to our head by repetition.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji, for repeating.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, so repetition is the only way to understand it better and to memorize it also, to get into our head. So we'll start now. So what is the purpose of the Vedas? So why the Veda has been given? Why Krishna gave it? When the Krishna knew that the Vedas are only for the sense enjoyment and that is not the purpose of life, and then ultimately we have to, all this Krishna knew before only. So why he gave the Vedas? We many times this question comes that when Krishna knows everything, why he created other things? He should have created only one thing. Everybody should have followed that only. Why he has a different thing? Because at no point of the time we all can be equal. We all can think alike. There will be people in Satogun, there will be people in Rajogun, there will be people in Tamogun because of our nature, because of our impression from the previous life. No time we can all be one. So those who are in the Tamoguna, there has to be something for them also. Those who are in the Rajoguna, there has to be something for them also. Those who are in Satoguna, for them also there should be something. And those who perform the devotional service, the highest, for them also there should be something. So that everybody can take some benefit and they can follow the religious life based on the principles. So people should not become like, sometimes we say that, is it a Jangal Raj? Jangal Raj means there is no rule. Who's ever do whatever they want. No, we are living in a civilized situation. So for everyone, there should be something. It is just like that. If I am not very good in studies, that doesn't mean I never enroll in myself to the school. I will also go to school. I will also learn something. I may not become IAS officer. I may not become doctor. Maybe I will do something else. This is my nature. So for everyone, there has to be something, little. And ultimately, everybody then elevate themselves and comes here. So the purpose of Veda is what? Yavan artha udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. All purpose served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Generally, when you go to village, nowadays there is no river or pond. So there is a different pond. There's one pond where people go and take the water for drinking. There is one pond people go and wash their clothes. There is one pond they will go and wash their utensils. There will be another pond where they'll go and take bath. They'll be different because the where you are doing the washing the utensils, you cannot wash the clothes there. Where you are washing the clothes, you cannot take the bath there because the water is limited. Pond water is very stagnant water. So it gets spoiled. So there are different, though if that village does not have a flowing river, the flowing river, even in one river, we can do everything. We can wash the utensil, we can take shower, bath over there, we can wash our clothes over there, we can take water for drinking also, if the river is flowing. Can you understand the difference? If the small ponds are there, we have to have many for doing different things. But if we have only one river, all the purpose can be solved immediately. Everything can be done in one place. So wherever there is a river, that area is called to be very rich in our geography. Wherever the river flows, we say that area is very rich because a lot of variety of vegetation is there and happiness is there, more things, because one river can do everything. So that is the difference between the river and the pond. So what Krishna is trying to explain here, the same thing. Ki Vedas will tell you, for this you do this, for you do this, for this you do this, different thing for different things. You want Lakshmi, so you worship the Lakshmi. You want intelligence, so you worship Saraswati. You want beautiful husband, to worship Lord Shiva. You want beautiful wife, so worship Goddess Parvati. Like different. You want Putra, so there is a Putresha Yagya. You want to become a king, there is another Yagya for doing. So different thing for different thing in the Vedas. But if there is, everybody follows this thing, like everything, like if we start following the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then it is like in the Bhagavatam, it is said, Yatha tarora mula nishechanena tripyanti skandha bhujopashakha. When there is a big tree, we water the root and all the tree gets nourished. Each and every leaves get nourishment and they become very nicely flourished. But if we start watering to the leaves, then after some time the plant will dry. So this is an example. When we take shelter of the Supreme Lord and follow our, what we have to follow, understanding, we have to follow the Nishkam Karma Yoga. We have to be determined to do our duties and do it with the complete detachment. Offer the result to the Supreme Lord. So when we do that, all these things are not required. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purpose of Veda can be served by the people, those who know the purpose behind him. What is the purpose behind the Veda? is, Krishna will tell us in the 15th chapter. Vedeshcha sarvara hameva vedya. The purpose of Veda is to know me. So if we understand the Veda's purpose, that to understand what to know Supreme Lord, and then we know about ourselves, and then we know the relation between us and Supreme. Basically, we understand Supreme Lord is Paramatma and Jiva is Jivatma. So, since we don't belong to this world, somewhere we belong, right? Because soul transmigrate, we read in the 2nd chapter previously, when we were reading the shloka. Soul transmigrate, leave this body, goes to next, leave that body, goes to the next. So when the journey of the soul gets over, the soul's journey gets over when the soul goes and gets a permanent body. Soul also has a permanent body, but right now it is in temporary body. And that is the reason it has forced to get out of that body after some time. Soul, that's why sometimes it is says that the 13 days the soul, when you leaves the body, 13 days the soul is surrounding and it is very attached to the body. And that is the reason we read Bhagavad Gita that time for the soul and do all the ritual. Because soul, 13 days she doesn't get a body to live in. The soul is there around, surrounding the particular house and all. So soul is transmigrating from one to another, one to another, one to another, and waiting to get a body when soul doesn't have to transmigrate anymore. If somebody asks you every 6 months to leave the house and change and go to the new house, how would we feel? We will be so irritated, right? Even though you are very rich, even though you can have nice house, but it is so irritable. Every time 6 months again, you have to get out. Every time 6 months, people say we are living like a nomad. We do not have a permanent house. Sometime here, sometime there, sometime there. It's so like everybody want to settle down. This is the nature. So, but soul also has to leave the body again and again, again and again, again and again. So that is the reason soul is not very happy, very frustrated. And since the soul is not very happy within us, we are also not very happy. What we are doing then? Then to make the soul happy, we try to give, because we do not know the soul's permanent place. We do not have idea of that. The soul also needs to be settled in some permanent place. So what we try to do to make soul happy? We try to give her, the soul, the material happiness. Sometime going to the vacation, sometime going to the people, sometime having some fun party, sometime having some activity. And we think that all these things will make it happy. But it doesn't make happy. It makes very momentarily happy. For that time, probably we will become happy. Then again after that. So that is the reason the soul wants a permanent place. So if we give a permanent place to the soul, then soul is happy. Or if we connect to the place where soul is assured that after doing this, I will get a permanent, then also sure soul is happy. So our soul is not happy because of every time we are changing the body.
Where is the permanent body?
Yeah. What? Sorry?
Where is the permanent body? Which is the permanent body? Even the demigods, I think, they also change.
Yeah. Demigod also change. So when you go out, demigod also comes in the material universe only. In the 14 planetary, the higher planetary, above us is the demigod. So they are also in the material. We have to go out of this material world.
Okay.
That is called Vaikuntha. That is called liberation. We liberate yourself from this and reach to a place which is permanent.
From there you don't come back.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
We will read all those things. All those things will. Brahma bhunarlekha punaravittino arjuna mamupete tu kaunteya punarjanam na vidyate. Krishna says, Brahma bhuvanar loka, from the Brahma loka to the top to the lowest loka. Punar avritti ano Arjuna. Punar avritti means going and coming. Punar avritti. Repetition is there. Going and coming, going and coming. So, mamupete tu kaunteya. If you surrender, hey, son of Kunti, if you surrender unto me, mamupetya, punarjanma na vidyate, then you will not have punarjanma. So what we are reading and discussing, it's all from Bhagavad Gita only. Ki Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says ki there is a place. Na tad bhasayate suryo, na shashanko na pavakah, yad gatva na nivartante, tad dhama paramam mama. Krishna says in another chapter, I think 15, na tad bhasayate suryo, there is no Surya over there. Na shashanko na pavakah, neither there is the sunlight, the moonlight, the fire, nothing is. Yad gatva na nivartante, tad dhama paramam mama. Yad gatva na nivartante. After reaching there, nobody comes back. That is my superior dham. That is my supreme abode. Tad dhama paramam mama. That is my supreme abode. So Krishna talks about that supreme abode. There is a place. When you reach there, you don't have to come back again. But in this, you have to. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shahinam, yaha sansare bahudustare, kripya tahe pahe muhurare. This is Shankaracharya has told. Punarapi janmam, punarapi maranam. Bar we have to take janma, bar we have to die. Punarapi janani jathare shahinam. Bar we have to go into the womb of a mother. Yaha sansare bahudustare. Very, very difficult this material word is. Kripya tahi pahe muhurare. That is the reason. Oh, foolish soul, remember the Supreme Lord. So a person who is in knowledge, Vijnana of Vedic purpose, need only to perform Buddhi Yoga for Lord's pleasure, because the performance of Buddhi Yoga satisfies the Supreme, satisfies the purpose behind the Vedas. So then one who is in knowledge, what he will do? He will intelligently act on Buddhi Yoga. Yesterday I told you all, what is Buddhi Yoga? Using our intelligence and then work. To connect to the Supreme. Yoga means connection. So how, when we are working, we have to use our intelligence to connect our work to the Supreme Lord. That is called Buddhi Yoga. So intelligent person, that is the reason he starts connecting himself to the Supreme, because he knows that this is all very temporary. Now, 47 to 49. How to practice Nishkam Karma Yoga? How Arjuna thought so many times, Krishna is telling, you practice. How? How do we do it? So here Krishna will give the very, very important and very, very famous shloka of Bhagavad Gita. I think Bhagavad Gita is known by this shloka. Everybody has heard, who knows Bhagavad Gita has heard about this shloka. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. Karmani means karma, your prescribed duty. Eva adhikar aste. Adhikar. You have a right. Adhikar diya gaya. God has given us an adhikar to do our duty. Ma phaleshu kadachana. But result you are not entitled. Fruits of action is not in your hand. You have only right to perform your duty, O Arjuna. Result is what going to come is not in your hand. In the 18th chapter, we will read that how our action is dependent on the 5 factors. The place, the time, the doer, the modes of nature, and then the will of the God. So everything has to be favorable to get the favorable result. So that we cannot, everything is not in a hand to make it favorable. So it says the result is not in your hand. You are not entitled to the fruits of action. So don't think about it. Ma karma phal heturbhur. So the first thing comes in our mind, because we are all very result oriented, goal oriented people. First set the goal and then work. Okay, set the goal and work is fine. But then don't think, just think about doing the work. Whether you will get it all or not, that is not in our hand. So the first thing comes in our mind is, okay, if I am not entitled to get the result, why should I work? Why should I put so much effort in it? So Krishna says, never consider yourself to the cause of the results of your activity. Never be attached to the not doing your duty. Never even think also that you are the only cause for all what is happening. Like yesterday, Dr. Manju was telling very nicely that when the patient, it survived, we always think, okay, I was just the instrument. Krishna, the Lord was there, Krishna was there, and he made it all. I was just an instrument. If I was not there, some other doctor will be doing. So not that I am only doing it. Because of me, I could only save that patient. If I was not there, it would have not happened. That is the ahankara. That is called false ego. Mithya ahankara. Because we are nothing. We are, of course, we are doing, so we are also part of it. But not that completely things are dependent on us. I always think about, when I think about this shloka, I always think about this. There was a lady doctor in my town, long back, it is maybe 30, 40 years before. And she was a gynecologist, and she was at that time, 30 years back, she had started like a, what you call infertility treatment and all. And she herself had no children. She adopted a child. She did not have any child. Hundreds and thousands of people were benefited by her treatment. She used to do this treatment for the people, and so many people got benefited, but she could not conceive. So even though she was the doctor. Another example also comes to our, this thing is that we are not the only cause. We cannot protect ourselves also. We cannot do things for even us. We think that we're doing. Dhirubhai Ambani, I was working as a teacher in Dhirubhai Ambani school long back. So that time Dhirubhai Ambani was alive. So he used to come sometime to our premises also. So initially he was okay. And then the later many times when he got a paralytic attack, so he used to be coming in the wheelchair. And his both the son, Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani, used to push his wheelchair. And he was not able to speak also, because he was completely paralytic. It was very difficult for him to speak also. So now I realize, even that time he was a business tycoon. It was not that he was very low level. He could have taken help of any doctor across the world. And he would have taken, of course. But he could not get out of that problem. So we are a very insignificant, we should, with all this, example comes to us every now and then around us. And we should know that why we give, this happens to us in our life also many times, but our life has no relevance. Big people's life has more relevance to talk about you. Okay, this person was there. He could not also manage it. So that their life, when we hear it, is, we feel more relevant because this is how it was. So it is not that everything is in our hand. So Krishna says, you leave the result in my hand. But do not consider yourself for not doing activity, and never be attached to not doing. Never be attached to not doing. Don't think that, oh, why should I perform? So Arjuna was attached to not doing duty. And Krishna said, you have only right to perform. What will the outcome of this war? You are not entitled for it. Even what is the, you cannot say, I will not fight the duty. And you are not even the doer. You are not even killing them. In the Mahabharata, it is mentioned that Krishna said all, and even Bhagavad Gita also Krishna said, I have killed all those people. You have just making you nimitta. Nimitta matra bhava sabyasachi. Hey Arjuna, just become an instrument. I have already killed all these people. So even a person like Arjuna was a nimitta matra. Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka. It says that nimitta matra bhava sabyasachi. Sabyasachi is a person, a title to given to a person who can do the archery from any side. If the arrow is coming from the back, the front, the right, and all, and one time he can do he can tackle all the sides. Arjuna was so famous. And to him also, Krishna made him realize that you are just a nimitta. Don't think that I am going to kill, they are all going to be killed. You are just a nimitta matra. Just do your duty. You are a Kshatriya, your duty is to do this fight and just do your duty. So what is our position? We are very, very tiny people and think that we are great. Other day I was hearing the a small clip of this one, Sudha. What is her name?
Sudha
Sudha
Krishnamurthy.
Murthy. Sudha
Yeah,
Murthy.
yeah, Sudha Murthy. Very, very
Yeah.
humble lady. I like to hear her sometime. Very, very humble. You see how people are, the big people are so humble. And she was telling his brother was in UK or US somewhere as a big doctor or something very nice. So he said, when he came and I said that you are such a great doctor and you have done so much this thing. So she said, my brother said, in so many continents, there is one continent, like in so many planetary, there's one planet. In the one planet, there is so many countries, and one country is there, America. And in the America also, there is so many cities are there. And in the one city, there is a one place where I live, and where I live also, there are so many lanes and this. And in that, there is one small tiny house of mine whom doing something. Who is the, where I'm so great. If you see, we are not even the dot. So she was sharing like this. Even Prabhupada had this thing. One time, one devotee became little puffed up, and Prabhupada said, this is your position. So we are very, very tiny person to make so much, like alone, if we think we are the only doer, that is the wrong mentality. Of course, we have to perform our duty. We are also the part of the activity, part of the result, but not, we can say, because of me only it has happened. So that is the difference. So this shloka is not properly understood. People think that karmane vadikaraste means my duty is to work only. Now I am working. I am taking care of my family. I am taking care of my children. That is my duty. Bhagavad Gita talks about the karma karo, karma. Bhagavad Gita ने क्या बोला? कर्म करने के बाद फल को पहले मुझे दे दो. Give all your results to me. Then only you are following this shloka completely, and do not understand that you are the doer. And do not to be attached to not doing duty. Bhagavad Gita never said you just do your karma and enjoy foolishly and get into the problems of sinful reaction. No, Bhagavad Gita doesn't talk about that. Bhagavad Gita says you have a right to perform your prescribed duty. Whatever has been prescribed to you. So as a husband, there is a prescribed duty. As a father, there is a prescribed duty. As a mother, there is a prescribed duty. We have all our, as a like different role we have. So whatever duty is prescribed to us, we have to do it very gently, very nicely, with all the determination. So is there any question for this shloka? So again, this shloka teaches us how to work with the detachment. Because what will happen? If we are not detached, what will happen? Either we will worry for the what is going to happen. How am I, what result is going, which is not in my hand. So my half the energy goes into what will happen. Why this has not happened? Half the things will go there. So we will have a very little focus to the present. The intelligent people live in present. Neither they live in past nor in future. They live in present. Whatever has happened is the past. We don't have to worry about it so much now. It has become past now. Now we have to make our present good. We have to do our duty very sincerely, and then we should leave. Yesterday also we discussed in great detail. If we do our duty very sincerely, there are more chances that we get the result also favorable. But if not for result, then what will be the inspiration to work? Why will I work? Duty. Duty is the inspiration. In the further, I think third chapter, Krishna will tell about give the example of the Janak Maharaj, Jankadeya. They all work as a duty. Janak Maharaj was so detached. Once some person came, and they were all king, and they were all ruling the whole, like that time, the whole planet. And then somebody came and said, Janak Maharaj, your kingdom, there is a fire. He was still nicely. Oh, it's okay. I don't care about it. So detached. Yudhishthir Maharaj, He was ruling the whole kingdom, planet at that time, Bharatvarsha. And the moment he heard that Krishna has left the planet and went back to his boat, immediately he gave up. He said, okay, that Parikshit, you become the king and we are all going, we do not want to be having here because now Krishna is not here, we don't want to be here anymore. Immediately he gave all the responsibility to the Parikshit and they all left. So they were doing as a responsible person to do their duty for some time and then give up and go. So there is karma, vikarma, karma. We will see a little bit karma, vikarma, karma. So what is the action? Actions are performed as prescribed duty in accordance with the spiritual injunction called karma. Actually, karma is defined with many ways. Sometimes the result is also karma. We say, no, this is my karma, what to do. So that is a result of your action, comes in your karma. Sometimes activity is karma. Sometimes the sakam karma is called the karma. So here it is called any activity you are doing, that is called the action, karma. And it is a sakam karma if it is through the scriptural injunction. Akarma is action that are performed in accordance with the scripture and offered to the Supreme Lord. Akarma. So this is karma is sakam karma, where we do some duty with having some, I want this result for this. Akarma means I am performing the duty, but I am offering the result. This is nishkam karma and akarma is almost the same. Nishkam karma, akarma and bhakti yoga is almost the same. There's a little bit different, which we'll discuss later. Akarma means I am doing the duty, but I am not getting result. That is what Krishna taught in the previous shloka. You have a right to perform your duty. Do not consider. You are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to the cause of the result of your activity. So this is called nishkam karma. Just perform your duty and leave the result. So when we do not aspire for result, that is called a karma. And vikarma is actions that are performed not in accordance with the scriptural injunction. Abominable are called vikarma. Against the scripture is called akarma. Vikarma. Vikarma is also called sinful action. So it's called also sinful action because it is against the scripture. This is called, these people are like those who break the law. If we break the law, we are behind the prison. They are sinful people who break the law. So here we will have the example of doing the karma with determination, not being this thing, King Bhagirath. King Bhagirath is also the example of Eke Rah Kuru Nandana yesterday. Vyavsayatmika buddhi Eke Rah Kuru Nandana. When the Bhagirath was once all his ancestors were very difficult in situation, and then somebody told that if the Ganga come, they were not like they're suffering in the hellish planet, and they said if the Ganga water will be poured on them, then all of them they'll be released from their sinful act or wherever they were. So he said how to get the Ganga. Ganga was there in the celestial planet. Ganga is also belong to the celestial planet. Ganga is there in the Brahmaji's Kamandalu. It is and with that Kamandalu, when he washed the feet of the Lord, the water comes in the form of Ganga. So Ganga is the water coming from when we wash the lotus feet of the Lord, and that water when this comes in this word is called Ganga. So it said that when the Ganga will travel down in the marine, the force is so much that everything will be destroyed with the water. So he prayed for so many years. First he prayed. Ganga did not respond. He prayed to Brahmaji, and then he did not leave. Constantly he was praying. And then he prayed to the Lord Shiva. And then he said, Lord Shiva will hold the Ganga in his head. That is why one of the name of the Lord Shiva is Gangadhar. He holded the Ganga in his, and from drop from his hair, he put some drop, and that became the Ganga in the material world. So determined he was doing, it was not easy for him to bring Ganga from the celestial planet, but he was very, very determined and working very hard to do it. And that is why the prayas, it is called Bhagirath prayas. Sometimes a very difficult thing somebody achieves, then we tell that, oh, this was a Bhagirath It was a Bhagirath Prayas, means Bhagirath had made so much effort to bring the Ganga down. So he was also very focused, attentive for doing his duty and for the benefit of others. So now we will do the text 48. Yoga is equanimity. Yoga stha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhayo asiddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchvate. What is the yoga in equanimity? He said yoga stha kuru karmani. So he said you situate in the yoga. Yoga again means connection. Yoga does not mean only physical yoga. Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, mein, there are 8 processes to perform the yoga. One is the asana. One is the pranayam. That's it. There are 6 other. So, and then dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So he said, yoga stha kuru karmani. Perform your duty being situated in yoga. Yoga here means in connection with the Supreme Lord. Sangam tattva dhananjaya. And give up, hey, attachment. Sangam means attachment. All the attachment you give up, oh Arjuna. Siddhyo asiddhyo samo bhutva. Be equal in siddhi or asiddhi, dono. Whether you get the favorable result or you do not get the favorable result. Be equal. Do not be disturbed. Because aaj ka failure will give some good result in the future. If we are still very determined and very focused and continue our work, there is no failure in the life. There is no failure. Continuously, that is what the motivational speakers are doing nowadays. Teaching us, you can do it. You can do it. You just do it. Because, but if we understand through the scripture, all these principles are coming from here. Do not be disturbed. We cannot continue doing if we are disturbed from the mind. Unless and until we have this principle in our head very strong, I have only right to perform my duty. Result is not in my hand. So I'm just doing my duty. I'm not affected by the result. The result will come. Again, we have to tell our mind, no, I'm not attached with this. I did my duty. It's okay, whatever. I will again do my duty very sincerely. Then only I can continue our duty very sincerely. The moments we are affected with the result, we cannot perform our duty very sincerely. That is the reason all this principle of the like motivation and all those who have who has written the 7 Habits of the Great People, he says all my principles I have taken from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has been taught in the management school because this is a ancient principle given by the Lord himself. Just be equal to success and failure. Success and failure will keep coming in the life. If you see in the 14th chapter, 14th shloka in the 2nd chapter, Krishna has told, Matra sparshasthu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityas. Agama paino. It will come and go because it is anityas, temporary. Tam titikshasva bharata. Oh Arjuna, learn to tolerate it because it is not permanent. Actually, if we remember this principle, it is non-permanent. Then we have more relaxed. Okay, it is non-permanent. It is there for some time. It will go. When we get more result, now it is permanent. Now I'll be like this only. My life is like this only. Nothing can happen to me. That is how people go in depression. Because they don't have courage to fight and stand. Nothing will happen in my life. I have lost everything. Everything has gone from my hand. Now I can't do anything. So better to end my life. That is how people go. If we have that courage, no, I have done my duty best. This is the result. Okay, now I'll perform my duty best. I will be equal. Siddhyo or siddhyo. Whether you become siddha means success or you are failure. If you can maintain that equanimity is called yoga. Abhi, we will say all this is very hard. Yes, it is hard when we are learning at the age of 55, 60 or late age. It is difficult. This should be taught from the very childhood to the student in the school. Then they know this principle very nicely. This is how you have to be in your life. We learned this in the late age. That is the reason it is more difficult because already the mindset is there so much rigid. So it is hard now. But if we practice this, it will be good for us. So he says yoga is equanimity. So you do situate in the self where you give up all attachment. Results, attachment is of what? Attachment is of the result only, na? Like, I want to achieve this by this. I want to achieve this by this. When we give up it, then we are peaceful. It's okay. There is a basic principle, it is said. भाग्य से ज्यादा समय से पहले किसी को कुछ भी नहीं मिलता है. Till that time, we have to keep trying. Since we do not know when the bhagya is there favorable, we do not know when my time will come. That is the reason we have to keep performing. When there is a good time, I'll get it. When the time will come, I'll get it. Nobody can stop. My boss is not wrong. My colleagues are not wrong. It is just that my time has not yet come. So I have to do my duty more sincerely. When the time will come, nobody can stop anything. Nobody can stop anything. So real yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. And because the Supreme Lord Krishna himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has to just follow his dictation without worrying about the result. So Arjuna has not to worry about the result, just do the duty. Then he says, this is the last shloka probably we'll do. Dure na hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhayo sharanam anveksha kripana falahetava. This is also one of the very beautiful shloka. Dure na hi avaram karma. Dure na means keep it away. What? Keep it distant. Avaram karma. Abominable act. Avaram means abominable act. What is called abominable act? And thinking that I want to get this, I want to get this, I want to get this. This is avaram. Krishna says this is avaram. And buddha sharanam anviksha. Take the shelter of the Supreme Lord. Kripana falahetava. Those who are miser, they only work for the result. Those who are great people, they work for the cause. Those who are miser people, they work for the result. Was it easy for Mahatma Gandhi? So many years he was struggling. All those people, those who have given so many years, they did not lose their faith in one failure, two failure. Continuously. Okay, I will do this now. I'll try this again. I'll try again. Sometime you become successful. This is those, because they knew that I have to work for the cause. Whatever result comes, I have to work for the right cause. So Krishna very beautiful says, reject all abominable action. Abominable action means when you are working for any attachment. Keep it away. All your attachment of the result. Does not mean you don't keep any attachment, just be detached. Attachment of the result, just keep it away. Oh, Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Buddhau sharanam anviksha. Buddha means using your intelligence, surrender unto me. Kripada falahetava. Those who are foolish people, they work for the result. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Kripada. Kripada means miser. Falahetava. Falahetava means they work for the result. So those who only work for the result, they are miser people. They will not be very successful in the life. In the life also you see, the people, those who are working for the cause. Nowadays, the motivational trainers, they are trying to develop the sense of responsibility in the people. You are working in the corporate, you should have the sense of responsibility, sense of belonging, that I'm working to enhance the company, I'm working for the welfare of the company. That is if that is the mood, then it is, no, my salary has come or not, or whether I am doing this, or whether I'll get the increment or not, and if I don't get, then these people are just like a worker. They will never grow so much because their mindset is only to work for some cause. But those who are working for some results, those who are working for the cause, that I'm working for the good cause. Whatever results come, I will also enjoy that result. And if I don't get result, I will work again. So Krishna says, keep it away. So this nice principle Krishna is given in Bhagavad Gita, which is very useful for our life also. If we can practice any of these things, it will be really, really useful for us. We'll stop it here now. Already 7:30. So is there any question from your side? So I'll just summarize in 1 minute. How to this today we learned that how to practice the Nishkam Karma Yoga, and this we started from text 46. How different Veda, what is the purpose of Veda? Purpose of Veda is to know the Supreme Lord. And Krishna gave this example: if you have a small well in your village, then you need many wells to sustain the life. But if there is a flowing river, everything can be done with the same. So the purpose of the Veda, who knows the purpose behind it, he has understood the Vedas. Otherwise, mostly people, the part of the Veda they take. Veda talks about this, Veda talks about this, Veda talks about, and they're just only engaged in the ritualistic activity, karma kanda, which is called. They're just trying to grasp something from the Veda for their enjoyment. Veda talks about this is the what you say, authentic way to enjoy. Veda deals in that. But Krishna says, you get up and rise above the Vedas and you try to do the Nishkam Karma. You do not work for only sense gratification. You become little more mature, Arjuna. Work for the cause, not for the result. And then he talks about you have a right to perform your duty. You are not entitled to the fruits of your action. And never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activity, and never be attached of not doing also. So if that, this shloka is a complete shloka, teaches us that we have a right to perform our duty, but the result is not in our hand. Result is in the hand of many other factors are there for the result. And then the topmost is the will of the Lord. Why the Lord will not give me some result? Because that is not in my karma. Why this is not in my karma? Because we have done something wrong. It's all a chain. In the 3rd chapter, we'll read all this. How the karmana gahno gati. It is so intricate, very difficult to know why I'm getting this, why I'm not getting this. Why for so many years I didn't get promotion, why my other friend has got 3 promotions. Why? There is something in this, even though I'm working the same, even though I'm working hard. So there are different causes. So what is the inspiration to work? Duty. We have to all become very responsible to do our duty well. Why we have to perform our duty well? Also to set an example. You have to do a duty. Then we understand the karma and vikarma. Karma means the prescribed duty given in the scripture. A karma is the duty which we perform and there's no result. We don't get any reaction. And vikarma is the sinful reaction against the scripture, not in accordance with the scripture. And then we saw the story of King Bharata. This story we'll see next class. And then Krishna says, you perform that's the reason, O Arjuna, you perform your duty situated in yoga. You don't be attached to the result. Just do as a duty, matter of duty. Be equal in success and failure. And that is how you can be very peaceful while doing a war. And then he says, keep yourself away from abominable action. Abominable action means fruitive results. Always thinking about the result. Keep yourself away. Those who try to enjoy the fruit of their result is called miser. And you use your intelligence, buddhi yoga, and sharanam anviksha, and surrender unto me, and then perform your duty. So this is what we did. We'll continue next class again. Is there any question, comment, realization, suggestion?
Mataji, I have one doubt, Mataji. Actually, in the sloka 47, Karmane Vadikarase, in that Krishna says that you're not supposed to expect for the result. Like in today's example, like the students who appear for competitive exam, they work hard and they appear for the exam. So you mean to say that they are not supposed to expect for the best result? Is that so? It means like...
See, the best is what? They should know that I have to clear the exam, and for that I have to work hard. Give your 100% to the work. Result is not in your hand. What will happen? That if you work hard, if you don't get, you will be so demotivated. So you know that my hand is only to work very hard. So there should not be any compromise in doing things. When we are working, we should give our 100%. Keeping the goal, keeping the goal that I want to achieve this goal. But not that if I don't achieve, but at the same time, we should also know, not that 100% is not sure. Nobody is 100% sure. When you are giving any competitive exam, you are not 100% sure, even though you are so great, whether you will get it only. So you accept that also. I have done.
So
okay.
many suicides they occur actually. That's why the parents should also not push the children that way. Because till 10th, that's why they have stopped giving the marks. They give the grades. Okay, that's the only reason. So many suicides, even in the board exam, 10th exam. So I think there should be no parental pressure, and too much of expectation is not good from the exam.
Yeah. See, we should train our children to work hard. Definitely, we should train. But at the same time, if they don't get result, we should also teach them, it's okay, you have done your best. It is okay. Result is not in your hand. You do something else. Or you do it again. Try again once more. What is the harm? Because what will happen? Even if you think that what you will do, if you fail the exam, if I fail the exam, even though I worked very hard, if I fail the exam, what can I do now? I can only be like sad, go in depression, because everything I lost. I have nothing in my hand. I did so much hard work. So we have to tell them this very nicely. See, you have a right to perform your duty. Result is not in your hand. So you do 100% your work. Even if there will be something else for you. This is not the end of the world. We are thinking by telling. We are thinking that by telling this is the end of the world. If you don't get, your life is lost. We are motivating them. Rather, we are demotivating them. They do not know how to struggle in the life. They do not know how to accept the failures. Any failure will make us depressed. We have to train them to in this. That does not mean, again, I am repeating, if you're not attached to result, does not mean you don't work hard. That's what Krishna is saying. Do not be attached to not doing work also. You give your 100%. You know that is a tough exam. You know that I have to be having all the sleepless night to work very hard. But I'm sure I don't know whether I'll get it or not. If I don't get also, there is a chances that I don't get also. So that acceptance should be there. In the society, in the people, in the society, in the people, in the child. If you tell them, no, if it is your loss, means you have gone, you have nothing. Then what the child will think? I will not go home. Let me end my life. My parents had so much this thing, and I did not do. So it is not only our work. There is more. That is what it is there. We will read in Bhagavad Gita. There are other factors also, which is not in our control. Sometimes we are preparing for the exam and everything is there. And I got sick. What to do now? That was not in my control. So there are things which is not in our control.
Okay, Mataji. Mataji, like when we are working during the day, how can we best remember of the Lord during the time? Is it only the practice, or how can we do that? Now we do Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu, but how best? Because we get engrossed in the daily activities.
I know this is, so that is the reason our morning sadhana should be nice. We should get up in the morning, do our chanting and go. If there is a time, possibly we should read. What we can do in the workplace, like generally this is how devotees do. Many devotees, they do. Of course, when you are doing work, you forget. But your goal is clear in the mind, why I am working.
Yes.
So that has to be clear in the mind. The second thing, we also have to work in a detached manner. Third thing, some devotees, what they do, they have their screensaver as a Maha Mantra. They have a screensaver as a Bhagavad Gita shloka. So in between, you just see once or twice, remind yourself. Like many devotees, then when they go to the office, they start with their prayer. like Om
Okay.
Jnana Timirandasya, and for 1 minute they do prayer and then they start their work. So they have, if you have some time, some devotees are also like that. If your lunch time is all there and you have some time, half an hour lunch and or something for yourself, then you have time to read something, hear something. Of course, the workplace is way. That's the reason morning sadhana is good. The mornings, like when the COVID is there, so you take the antibiotic and then you go with the COVID people also, then your resistance is there. You will not be very easily affected. Correct?
Yes.
So if our morning sadhana is good, if you have nicely chanting, if you have nicely having understanding of Bhagavad Gita, then the atmosphere over there will less affect us.
Yes, Mataji, sure. Thank you so much. This helps.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Rupa, where is Prabhuji?
Ma'am, today Mataji, today he have meeting, so he
Okay.
went there in office.
Acha, acha, acha.
So he will come late today.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so see you all again next week.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, so
Hare
much.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And if you feel that these sessions are interesting and helping, you can also invite your friends, those or family members, anyone who you think that they'll be benefited by this. So you can share the link with them.
Yes, Mataji.
We have to reach this knowledge to each and everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So we'll end the session here.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.